Hi, today I'd like to show you a few more coins I got. This time I had £100 and I bought mainly sort of low value, cheaper coins rather than larger, more expensive coins. So not so much in the way of silver, but more of copper and other alloys. So here we got the first one. I've spent £100 on all these, I think of roughly, so that's about $135, something like that. And I got about 35 coins, I think there were. So roughly about £3 or say $4 a coin. But these are £3, so this is probably $4, just under. 1884 Argentina. So there you got the Liberty head you often get on Argentine coins and stamps. And there you've got the cap on a thing with lots of things. It's just sort of the usual symbol of Argentina. Another Argentina, 1909, 10 centavos, £4 this one. And again, you have the Liberty head sort of coin on there. Here we got Belgium, 1923, 2 francs. Belgium, they either have both Flemish and French on their coins, or they have separate coins with one with Flemish and one with French. This one is Flemish coin, good voor. Belge, and it's very. Here we've got Brazil. Now Brazil have got very boring coins, some of them. 1882, and it often has this thing where it's a circle with the amount in the middle with some wording on the outside, 100 reais. And then you got the emblem of Brazil with a world with that sort of band across it, and it's got a crown. So this must have been, when was this? 1882. So it was still, I think it was the Empire of Brazil at that time. So it was still a monarchy. That's why it's got a crown there. Emperor of Brazil, I think that is. So we've got 1889. This one's got 200 reais. So again, the very same somewhat design on these. And you've got some stars on that side. Now we've got Ceylon. Ceylon, they often have these sort of 1944, so just in the near the end of the Second World War. 10 cents. I think it was still a British colony at that time. They were just about to become independent after the Second World War. A lot of these countries went independent. 40s and 60s were big shedding of the empire. And they got these scalloped shell size coins, very much like India and Sri Lanka, or what is then Ceylon, it's now Sri Lanka. You got George the 6th, I think there is, yep. On that side, king and emperor. Not for much longer. Again, we've got Cyprus. Again, we've got the Cyprus was a British colony for a while. It's still got British bases on there, but it is independent. It's split in two now because the Turks invaded, and the north of Cyprus is now under Turkish rule, and the south part is under Greek rule, but there are a couple of 3 bases, air bases that the British use. Cyprus, 1934, 1 piastre. Again, it's got this scallop shell look. And then we've got George the 5th, so George the 6th, father. Another one of Cyprus 1944. Again, he's got these cut edges. One Paesta again. And then we've got George the Sixth on this side. Cyprus again. (1947), 1 shilling. Yeah, I've got George the Sixth. Now I've got Denmark. 1 ore, a small little coin. I think you could easily get these lost in your wallet. 1899. And that's got Charles, or no, it was Christian, might have been Christian, the 9th, Denmark, tiny little coin. Now we've got Egypt, 1941, that sort of circular in the middle, I think that's a 5, number 5 in Arabic numerals, and you've got the 2 different dates, the Arabic date and the European date on each side. And you got the king on that side in his military uniform and his fez hat. Again, we got Egypt, 1903. I think this is a small bit of silver. We've got that scroll of Muhammad or something like that. You get that little scroll there on Egypt and Ottoman, and I think you have it in Afghan flags and stuff like that. Very complicated scroll. This one here, got Fiji, 1962, sixpence. Again with Queen Elizabeth II, sort of quite a young portrait. We've got Finland, 1921, 1 mark. There's the emblem of Finland. You get on stamps as well. This lion with a sword on a saber. Germany, 1936. Reich Pfennig. Germany had just come out of hyperinflation and they rebalance their coinage, so the marks have gone and they become Reich marks and Reich Pfennigs, trying to stabilize the currency so it didn't keep going up by thousands of % every day. So you got 10 Reich Pfennig. Nice little picture of corn on that side. And then you've got the letter A, which is the mint mark. A lot of German coins have got lots of mints. In Germany, about 8 different mints, so you can find out what the letter A mint mark was for. Now we've got Greece, 1882, 10 lepta. I think that is. It's all in Greek, and I'm not that well into my Greek letters. You've got the king there. I think it's that one there, Basil, yeah. That means king, I think. I believe he was a German. A lot of these countries, when they became independent from the Ottomans, they were looking for heads of state, and they often looked to the German princes and got a German prince to take over the country. I think Romania Greece, Bulgaria, I think they've all got German princes as their leaders after they've got independence. 1938, we've got Iraq was a kingdom in those days. There's head there. Again, it's got these scalloped 1 and those zeros, that's 10. And again with the different dates on there. Morocco, North Africa, it's 1371 is the Arabic date. I'm not sure what the date is in. I think it's 1950s, I think it was. 20 francs. So it's in Arabic and French. It has the Arabic date, but it hasn't got the European date, which is strange for a French colony. I'd have thought they'd have at least put both, but there you go. And the Netherlands, 1876, 1 cent. Got the arms of the Netherlands. It became a kingdom in 1830s, I think it was, when it got separated from Belgium, or from the Netherlands. What am I talking about? This is the Netherlands. Sorry, I'm talking about Belgium. No, this is the Netherlands, so it's been independent for a while. Belgium got independence from the Netherlands in the 1830s, but this one is William. It is 1876. Another one, the Netherlands, about the same sort of time, 1880s, 2.5 cents. And again, you've got the coat of arms, the Netherlands. A lot of countries have got the lion as their emblem. Lions and eagles seem to be the big thing in Europe. And yet we don't get lions in Europe. So, there have always been signs of strength, but you'd think they would have something more of a commoner, because Britain has got the lion, but we've also got the bulldog. Nigeria, 1959. Again, one of these ones where they've got the hole in the middle, 1 penny. And it was Federation of Nigeria. I think it used to be British West Africa before it became Nigeria. Norway, 2 or 1945. There we've got the symbol of Norway. Again, it's a lion with an axe in his hand. Norge. Norway's got 2 languages. It's got Book Norwegian and another Norwegian. So they're slightly different. Palestine. Now, Palestine, 1940. At the end of the First World War, when the Ottoman Empire collapsed, this area was contested between the Arabs and the Jews. The United Nations made a British mandate, so the British sort of controlled it for a while until the 1940s, when the UN at that time then split it between most of it, I think it's about 4/5 went to a state of Israel, and then that 1/5 went to Jordan. I think that was when the West Bank went to Jordan. So at this period, it would have been under a British mandate, 10 mils. And it's got things in Hebrew and Arabic. Hebrew and Arabic and English. Another Palestine one. This one's 1927, 20 mils. These are quite expensive because I don't think there's that many of them made or something. So that's why it's a bit 15 quid for this one. One of my more expensive ones. So again, it's got Hebrew and Arabic on there. And again, we've got Palestine, 1927, Christian and Arabic numbers. It's quite a lot for £100. I've got quite a few coins. I was there for quite a while sifting through the book, make sure I haven't got them. Paraguay in South America. A small country you don't hear much about. Paraguay and Uruguay tend to be quite overlooked, really. You know about Brazil and Argentina and Chile. But Paraguay, who can say much about Paraguay or Uruguay? Yeah, who's ever been there? Do they have much of a tourist trade? I don't know. 1944, 50 centavos. Republic del Paraguay. Again, it's got this liberty hat. A lot of these countries were liberated in the 1820s, 30s from the Spanish Empire. Philippines, 1944, so it's still part of the United States of America. They've still got their United States of America on it. $1 centavo. I think it's a native Filipino. Poland, 1938, 50 groszy. So this was before the First World War, before it was invaded by Germany. So it was an independent republic at that period. It's supposed to be a very difficult language to learn, especially the accent and some of the sounds you have to make. Because they put lots of consonants together, like CZs and all sorts of things. Sarawak, this is an interesting place. Sarawak, this is in Borneo. I think is it Borneo? Might be. It's part of what is now Malaya in the north of the country, and the south is part of Indonesia. And Sarawak, this place, 1887, it was under British mandate for a while. It became part of the British Empire, but at this time, 1 cent. They had a separate sort of, this guy, Brooke, I think it was Gordon Brooke. He was a sort of like a English ruler in his own little right. I'm not sure if I'll have to find out some history about it, because it's quite interesting how he took over this country. Made himself this sort of Raj at this period, and then it was taken over by the British Empire as part of Malaya, I believe, and eventually. But here we got this guy at this time, so I might have to do a little video just on my coins of Sarawak of the different periods. Saudi Arabia. It's quite interesting design. It looks like a 3, backward 3, but actually that's a 4. I'm not sure how that came into, because that's the 3, that's the one that developed into a 3 there. 1, 3, 7. Again, it doesn't look much like a 7, does it? But maybe when you turn it up. And then you've got a 2, that becomes a 2. You can see how that sort of evolved into a 2. But that's a 4, that one in the middle. Saudi Arabia. And again, that's the sort of symbol, the cross swords and the palm tree. Often you see that on coins and stamps to know that that is Saudi Arabia. Spain, España. 1885, and this is a little bit of silver again, 20 cents. It's a nice coin, very crisp. You can see all the outline of the coin, and there he is there. He's got a bit of a moustache, and a sort of a beard. So it's Alfonso. There was lots of Alfonsos in France and Spain, sorry. Alfonso the 12th. Again, Spain during the 19th century had a very turbulent period. It's lots of revolutions and stuff like that. So Sweden, 1-0. I think Sweden, Denmark and Norway all had oars, O-R-Es. But I think some had umlauts over the O and some didn't, or something like that. So it's said slightly different. 1878. And then you got the symbol for the king of Sweden at that time. They were united for a while with Sweden and Norway, but I'm not sure. I'll have to again do some research and then come back to you. And very last, Syria, because it's 21 minutes, so I hope you haven't nodded off. 1936, 5. Again, you've got the 5 on this side, and that's 0. Looks like a 0, but it's a 5 in Arabic script. Again, it was under Syria was part of the sort of French mandate after the First World War. There's sort of area of control. And there you got the Syria 1936 estate in the different languages. So you got the Arabic and the French. Well, I hope that was sort of interest to you. These are sort of coins from the sort of lower grade, well, lower denomination, cheaper coins that you can get. And I got all of these, it's quite a lot, for £100, which I think was quite a good deal. Okay, I'll see you again soon anyway, so please give it a thumbs up, it all helps. Subscribe if you haven't, and leave a comment, because that all helps to push up my numbers, which have fallen a bit in the last few weeks. I want to get another history, because it's supposed to have been a history channel on the Napoleonic period. I will get one out tomorrow on some newspapers I've got of the 1800s. I'm reading a book on Waterloo at the moment, which is very good, and I'll show you that as well. Okay, I'll see you again soon. Please subscribe, comment and thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.